how this goes. In the upper left hand corner, the blue Protoss player from Team Liquid is going to be MaNa. And down to the bottom right hand corner, meching his way to victory in game 1 against Red. It is our Red Terran player, Ryung. Alright guys, so apologies for what has been so far a little bit of a shady start on the production side of things. Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy day. It's actually been a pretty crazy few days. If you didn't know, the few days ago the music wasn't great in the break as well. I put it on and I went and caught myself some water and I didn't realise what came on. Yeah, the last few days, so I announced that I'm going full time with StarCraft 2 and with the SE2 improved stuff, and it's been very exciting. And obviously this first week is a little bit going to be a little bit different to the rest of my time being full time, because I've just finished uni, so I'm kind of still spending some time saying goodbye to everyone and going out and seeing people and drinking a lot. So it's been a bit of a hectic week, alongside doing some casting alongside drinking and stuff. So today's been mega hectic as well, because again I wasn't really expecting to cast today, and I chose today to be my day to actually move out and to go home. And so casting is kind of a bit of a corkscrew in my plan, and yeah, I've been trying to like hectically pack, and it turns out it actually takes a lot longer to pack everything in your room than you might think. So yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy day, but enough of me. Let's talk about this game. We're here on Echo, MaNa's map pick for this PVT, and no real surprises, I would say. I mean, Echo, I was talking at the start of that last map, Coda, Echo, you know, it's the standard 1-2 map combo we usually see in this new map pool. You know, if you have a best of 3 between 2 players, you're probably going to see at least one of Coda or Echo, and, you know, it wouldn't be too surprising to see both. MaNa's going to spot this command center first here from Ryung and going to try to work his way against this. It's not 1-0 to MaNa, it's 1-0 to Ryung, sorry. What else can I screw up today? I really don't know. 2 SCVs pulled down to the low ground to help chase down this probe, and this will allow him to get that CC up. Only a single barracks added on and straight into a gas, so Ryung able to follow this up with some kind of factory play, and could go into that standard mine drop, which we again so often see in PvP. Of course, it's just going to be off of a bit of a stronger economy with that CC first. Usually from CC first, so back in the old days, the only real way to open would be that kind of double racks follow up from the command center first, but nowadays you can just put down single racks and go into this factory build. Of course, I mean, back then we never really saw you know, factory builds anyway, because they weren't so effective, but now with widow mines and super speedy medevacs, they can be super duper awesome. So we do see a lot of those, as we do see a mothership core coming across the map. So I mean, MaNa got into that main base, he saw absolutely everything. He knows that there is a single racks up, he knows there's a gas, so he knows this factory is here basically. He knows exactly what's going on. This mothership core is a great move, because I mean, if he can get in and grab an SCV, great, it's free damage. Even if he doesn't, there's no way Ryung can realistically hunt him down, because he can't have enough units out at this point. You know, 3 Marines, you know, he can only, you know, it's going to take him 2 Marines at least to push it back in the main base. What's this 1 Marine going to do? You know, trap it over here. It's going to be able to get away. So this mothership core comes in, and he can just confirm as well what's going on. He sees the second gas, which is already quite interesting. I mean, seeing a second gas, it means that there's going to be a lot of commitment to this tech from Ryung, and with a Stargate on the way, I'm intrigued to see how MaNa is looking to hold off this aggression. I mean, we have to expect some form of Oracle player to begin with. He doesn't have any form of detection out on the map right now, so he needs something sometime soon. Reducing engineering bay though on the way up for Ryung, so he's already preparing to go into his own detection to be able to deal with, or not detection, but turrets to be able to deal with the incoming Oracle, or what could be an incoming Oracle. Again, he doesn't know for sure just yet what it is, and it is going to be that Oracle though. So again, that Oracle on the way. Again, this is Ryung playing completely blind, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he didn't scout at all, so again, he's just playing a build which is completely safe. He's going to be able to just deal with anything he needs to, as we have a bit of a lag spike here.
Game paused.
And we're just gonna have a quick pause now. Hopefully, okay, it's MaNa's internet, so it's not on our side. So we'll just take a quick moment here and get ready to resume in a moment. What's going on in the chat again? Who is everyone cheering for? I saw a lot of guys putting up some hype for Liquid. JD Tor, Skeleton 737, Lopaton, A lot of hype coming in for Team Liquid. MaNa hype coming in from Divine Insanity as well. It is indeed 1-0 to Axiom Acer again. I just messed up, but I fixed it ASAP. But there's a bit of delay on the stream, of course. But thank you for letting me know, guys. Alright, so we are back. And we are getting back into this game. So where we left off, Oracle's just about to pop out here from this Stargate from MaNa. Ryung is completely blind, but he's playing very safely. He's already got turrets positioned to be able to deal with, or Marine/turrets positioned to deal with incoming Oracles. A couple of racks on the way, and getting the second gas seems to have worked out quite nicely for Ryung. He's just gone straight into his stim pack, not really slowing down his potential bio upgrades at all here. Straight into +1 as well, so he's getting into a nice spot. And we see a Phoenix being added on by MaNa as a way in which he can potentially begin dealing with this incoming gas factory-based aggression of Ryung. We see this one medevac with just a single mine coming across the map. There's a mine hidden behind this orbital command center, by the way, so that's something to watch out for as this Oracle does move in towards the main base, looking for a couple of SCV kills. And is he going to commit? Well, he'll commit onto a couple of SCVs. It's, you know, he should. At the same time, this murder mine drops off and MaNa distracted, doesn't pull his workers away, only loses 3, only gets 2 SCVs though, and this Oracle needs to move a little bit further away, and he's just going to get out of there in time as one Marine catches a single shot on that escaping Oracle. So the man got dealt with, and MaNa's just going to pause here once again. So we're just going to have a couple of moments here for MaNa to fix his internet, which is no problem at all. Of course, we want players to play in the best possible conditions, so we're not going to reprimand him for that. Who's playing for Liquid in this matchup? It will be, I assume, the entire team. So I mean, so far Liquid have generally used basically their European lineup. They haven't used their Korean players. They've approached this team league with their European players and their European lineup, and again, they've done so brilliantly so far. And you know, there's never actually been a time where they needed their Korean players. So whether they actually do decide to use their Korean players or not, I kind of feel as though they probably won't at this point. It seems as though, I mean, they definitely can. They're on their roster. They're allowed to play if they want to use them. And maybe in the grand finals they would, but so far it seems as though the European players have been the only guys who have been interested enough to take part in the league. So, I mean, again, the European players are the only guys they've needed. They've only lost one match. They've only lost to Dignitas Dead Pixels. They got all killed by Patience. It was in the group stage. They already had a great match score history, so it wasn't the biggest deal losing that match. So yeah, I mean, it's one of them. It's one of these situations where they can use their Koreans if they want to, but they seem quite happy taking on the challenge with their European players. And I mean, Team Liquid have to have one of the best European lineups in StarCraft 2, right? I mean, you know, Snoot, Bunny are arguably the best Terran and Zerg outside of Korea right now. MaNa is a really good Protoss player. I mean, he's just got knocked out of WCS this season, but you know, he has these moments of brilliance. I mean, last season in WCS he looked extremely scary, barely missed the round of 8, and yeah, I mean, what a lineup they do have, and of course then such a strong back bench as well. I mean, TLO's been doing fantastic as well. He was round of 8 at WCS last season, and Rhett's doing fantastic too. I mean, their European lineup is fantastically strong, as we see this Oracle trying to try and come back in here. The medevac actually getting picked off by that Phoenix. We actually see another Phoenix just out here right now. So this one SCV has been out on the map all game long, just forgotten about over here. As MaNa just patrolling a probe in the middle of the map, just acting as an observer, essentially watching for anything which might be coming his way. An observer finally getting out on the map so this probe can go off and make some pylons or so, whatever it wishes to do. As this other Oracle comes along the left hand side, and sorry, the only Oracle, comes along this left hand side and will try and pop in, maybe grab a worker, but deterred by the turret, so no further damage to be done just yet, and both players are going to head in towards their fairly standard mid games. Ryung playing very safely by putting his command center in his natural, his third command center that is. So he's popping that down. Combat shield stim just finishing up. Again, he had a very nice upgrade lead because he started +1 very early on because of his build, and this is going to give him quite a strong time. With these first few medevacs moving across the map, it would be 4 if that first one didn't get picked off by the Phoenix. But it's just going to be 3, but still quite a strong, scary timing to move across the map with right now. MaNa desperately chrono boosting out a second Colossus, and if you can get that out, then that is going to be a little bit harder for Ryung to really do much, but he does have the possibility of just kind of trying to pull MaNa apart. Third base is on the way up. here. And with this third base up, as he drops the Revelation on the army, that's going to be very useful just for keeping track of where it is. But with the third base on the way up, there's lots of areas for Ryung to kind of attack into. You know, he can try dropping into the natural while hitting the third base. He can send a drop into the main and hit the third base at the same time. You know, there's a lot of positions which are going to be difficult for MaNa to deal with at the same time. And this army position here, again, it defends the main, it defends the third and natural at the same time, and whoa, Ryung's going to commit, and time orbs and force fields here are going to be a little bit problematic for him, I think. I think he underestimated that second Colossus timing, wasn't quite ready for that to come forward just yet. These Phoenix are hunting down the medevacs as well, so Ryung can't really just pick up and leave this engagement, and that's a medevac going to fall there to these Phoenix. A great fight there from MaNa. He completely turns this around. I was kind of just still talking about, you know, how MaNa was just positioned, but I wasn't really expecting Ryung to commit to the fight, but MaNa was quick on the ball. He did everything he needed to. He dropped the time warp to slow down the advancement, slow down the retreat. He dropped a couple of force fields as well. And again, with those Phoenix out on the map, it's very difficult / impossible for Ryung to realistically pick up his units and just leave, because they're going to get hunted down by the Phoenix. You're just giving away free units. So he committed, and he was kind of stuck in this commitment here. As we now see MaNa moving around with these Phoenix, and they will look to grab a couple of SCVs wherever they can. A few Marines in the main base, as whoa, Widowmine will catch one of those Phoenix, and a bunch of splash damage gets done to these as they do exit to the north. So he dealt with them Phoenix quite nicely. I mean, he's deterring them once again, but MaNa's at a supply advantage, which isn't usually what you see in TVP. Generally in TVP, it's the Terran player who's kind of cranking out these fairly cheap but very efficient units. So generally the Terran player is the one we see at a bit of a supply advantage going in towards kind of the mid game and the later stages of the matchup as well. I mean, Ryung does have 1/1 upgrade, so he's at an upgrade advantage. He'll have 2/2 before MaNa has +2, so he has other things ahead of his DC, but it's okay. So I did rewrite. I rewound it like about 4 or 5 seconds from when the game ended. So hopefully it's not too much of an issue for MaNa here. But we're going to continue, and just give me a second, I need to minimize something. There we go. Okay, all set. I'm back in this game. Let's bring up the score. And now we should be fully set to go once again. So MaNa really committing to this kind of Phoenix Colossus style. Not really kind of mass Phoenix, but really committing to the Colossi. Second Robo facilities on the way, and a Templar Archives, and Ryung is going to be committing to the late game here. He's popping down his Ghost Academy, he's building up his Viking count. He's not just going to SCV pull this, he's going to go to the late game with MaNa. So we were talking a little bit before about how MaNa was ahead on supply, but that's slowed down a little bit here. I mean, he has just taken a few months to invest in quite a lot of infrastructure. You know, his Templar Archives and this Robo at a very similar time. And Scam just coming in, just looking for an observer, but it's just out of range. Observer over here, in fact, and that observer is just spotting this army moving back through the centre. Ryung not really committing to any drops so far this game. We haven't really seen him kind of commit to that at all, and he's been playing fairly passively in all honesty. Apart from that, you know, he went for that one fight right at the start of the game, which gave MaNa a bit of an advantage, I would say. But since then, he really has been playing very passively, and right now he does hold that upgrade lead. He's on 2/2 upgrades against just about to be +2 for MaNa, so that's a nice little added advantage. But with Psionic Storm on the way, he's going to need these ghosts. They are on their way out right now. A few more turrets being added on, just preparing to deal with potential warp prisms, one of the kind of banes of late game TVP, right? Because I mean, if you guys watched Pro League yesterday, so if you saw Hero versus MMA, it was kind of like MMA was playing this beautiful game, and then all of a sudden, like, he looked at it, he was really far ahead, and all of a sudden, you know, this warp prism just warps in so many Zealots, a couple of DTs, and MMA just can't get enough in his main base to deal with it, so he has to go for this kind of one all-in attack. And I mean, he maybe should have still won, but Hero just controlled it so well. It was a really good game. Definitely recommend it if you haven't seen this week's SPL just yet. SPL's been really great the last couple of weeks, actually. Some really fab matches. Anyways, 3-3 starts up here for Ryung as MaNa is adding on his second forge, starts up his +1, so he's getting into a position as well where, you know, I mean, both players are pretty much maxed out now. They're getting to this point where it's just going to be who takes the better fight, and Ryung is going to look for this fight straight away here, it seems. He's moving forwards, and I mean, can you attack into his position? It's going to be so difficult. MaNa's already retreating with his Colossi here as the storms lay all over these Vikings. The Vikings are going to go down so quickly. Huge storms on the army as well. MaNa is pushing this back with ease so far. Another storm comes down. Vikings are non-existent at this point, and that means the Colossi still stand strong in the back. Not really too much left in front of these Colossi though, so a little bit of a scary moment there. But these ghosts are going to get picked up, and with this, MaNa's going to clean out, and with reinforcing zealots, he might just be able to push across the map for victory right now. I mean, he clears off every single ghost. He has the potential to warp in Archons to kind of help him out with a push across the map. He's actually just making 2 more Colossi, so he's not just going to fully commit to winning the game right now. But what a position he's got himself into. This CC here can lift, and well, the Phoenix will just slowly work away on that, and that's going to be a dead 4th base here from Ryung. MaNa has his own 4th base being set up to the left-hand side of the map, so he's all good. And again, it was just not the fight which Ryung needed there, and as these SCVs coming to try and repair, MaNa's just going to try and pick off a couple of them. Will fall back. The CC stays alive, and again the rest of the army from MaNa moving back as well. A couple of zealots left here in the centre of the map. Ryung has to rebuild a little bit here, but again, that was not the fight he was looking for. It seems as though he barely really got any EMPs off, you know. There's so many storms available. The Vikings got stormed to death. They went down so quickly with the help of those Phoenix as well, and I mean, I think they killed 1, maybe 2 Colossi. And on the ground, you know, actually, you know, Ryung was doing a good job. He had almost broken through all the units apart from a couple of Colossi, but he just didn't quite have enough to keep pushing through. The power of the Colossi just way too much, and well, here we are now. Ryung sits about 30 supply down as MaNa moves down the left hand side of the map. Looks to potentially be going for a bit of a killing move here, moving down this side, and there we go. There's starting to charge in. I mean, I don't think he can save this base, and he kind of has to fight Ryung if he wants to keep this base alive. He is actually going to save the CC, which is very impressive. MaNa backing off a little bit here, sending zealots in towards the 3rd base though, and that's something Ryung has to start dealing with, and that's actually going to allow MaNa to come forwards and at least force the CC not to be repaired. So these zealots are going to start being dealt with. A big sim from Ryung to start dealing with this, and he doesn't have that many medevacs, and now MaNa's going to start attacking at the front as well. This orbital force to lift, and a storm going down on a big chunk of bio units to the left hand side. Them zealots finally dealt with. They're finally going to go down. MaNa has killed off about 10 workers in the last minute or so though, and he's actually content with what he's done so far. He's just backing off. I mean, he's got 3-3 on the way, and at this point, or 3-2 on the way. At this point, it's not really worthwhile pushing the issue. I mean, he may as well fall back and wait for that upgrade advantage to kick back in, or not really an advantage, but for those upgrades to kick back in. He will still be down on upgrades because Ryung just have that +3/+3. And the scan coming in, just actually revealed a couple of cannons, so MaNa really looking to set up kind of this late game contain sort of movement to help against those. EMP doesn't hit much at all there, missing those Phoenix which it was destined to, which was trying to hit. Just find a couple of pylons though, and I think these units were probably meant to kill the pylon up these rocks, but either way, Ryung backing off. Both players going to max out here. MaNa still does have a bank, but if he takes a bad fight, Ryung can definitely make this work. He needs to take a fantastic fight though. Again, he needs to win a fight convincingly because he doesn't really have the money to remax. Only 8 Vikings, which is sort of scary considering again there's like 5 Colossi out and Phoenix to kind of work against these Vikings very quickly as well. They're going to find a Colossus very quickly though, and this first Colossus starting to go down. MaNa has to find a fight right now. EMP's trying to land on them Templar. MaNa does a great job of pulling them back though. No Storm's able to land just yet, still moving these backwards. 1 EMP lands, only hits a single Templar though, and it looks as though Ryung is taking a good fight here. He's taking down all but 2 of the Colossi. Some Storms coming down. There's still a lot of support in Storms because MaNa hasn't been able to use any of them just yet, so Ryung can't really push forwards. But what an engagement so far. Now MaNa, with the roping of reinforcements, he's able to push this back a little bit. Only a couple of ghosts out here, and again, there's still a lot of Templar out. MaNa did a fantastic, it was a fantastic dance between these two guys, as MaNa was kind of not really, he's very reluctant to actually move forwards with his Templar into the EMPs, and none of the EMPs were really able to hit. This plant before is not quite going down just yet. It's very, very close. Nice at zoning with the storms here. Again, only 2 Colossi, so MaNa has to be very careful, and it looks as though he will not commit into the fight. That plant before has got so low, and MaNa actually wasted a few resources kind of fighting against that there, only to have it repaired up by Ryung a few moments later. Ryung holds on then, and again, that was kind of the fight he needed. He somehow, with just such a low Viking count, he was able to take down so many of the Colossi, and just, yeah, I mean, again, the zoning between the kind of Templars and Ghosts really fun to watch between these guys. MaNa pre-splitting his Templar now, so one single EMP can't just come in and kind of end the day. A little bit of a bio run by here, you know, who needs Medivacs when you can just run it into your opponent's base? The Forges are here, so that's something which MaNa might want to think about protecting. As we do see this little group of bio coming forwards. MaNa is moving backwards with his, moving to the middle of the map with his army. A few workers are going to get pulled through this little chunk of, through these, chunk of army, and here we go. We're actually going to see an engagement starting to happen once again towards this mounting forward. Storm's coming down, trying to weaken up those Vikings. MaNa looking as though he just kind of really wants to kill that planetary and then move away here. Storm's still available. A lot of these units stuck behind the mineral line, but starting to push through, and MaNa's running out of units. He's trying to warp in a couple of Archons, but they're just not quite here in time. Of course, he had to use that warp in back at home to defend that little bit of a run by, and he kills the base. So if he can survive a little while longer here, he's going to be in a good position because he's killing off bases, he's lowering the economy of Ryung. Main base mined out, natural base already flying over to the fourth because it's pretty much mined out. Third base, the only mining base right now. DT's moving forwards here. Of course there are ghosts, so they can EMP to reveal as well as the scans, and Colossus in the middle of the map. That's not what MaNa wants to lose right now. I mean, he doesn't want to lose anything at this point, but every little thing is going to help out here. And Ryung moving across, he doesn't have too much bio, I suppose. He's actually just going to start landing. He lands one of his Vikings there, which is a little bit interesting. MaNa moving forwards. Can MaNa really afford to be this far forward on the map? He's got 2 more Colossi coming out. If Ryung doesn't realise this, ooh, nice storm, and that will hurt a little bit here. Keep draining that medevac energy. If MaNa can get these next 2 Colossi out, I really think he can take a great fight, because right now these Vikings, they're very low on hit points. There isn't very many of them. Ryung hasn't really been mining too much, so again his economy isn't great in terms of being able to afford Vikings. One of them Colossi comes out again. If he didn't lose that one just kind of over to the left hand side for no reason, he goes getting into a really nice position to kind of shut off and EMP this army as it comes forward here. And there's the first couple of EMPs land, and there's still a Templar with energy though. Only one storm. That single DT is revealed right now, as it looks as though MaNa is going to potentially lose his 4th base right now. It is under attack. Zealots DT starting to move forwards in this fight. Again, the real issue I think is going to be these Colossi, but the Stalkers, they're not taking down the Vikings, so one of the Colossi falls. MaNa and Ryung are both just going toe to toe with each other right now. Does Ryung just have a little bit too much bio on the ground? There's one DT is slowly picking away the last couple of Marauders. Both of these guys are below 90 supply, and a single Archon, a DT, a handful of Zealots is all it's going to take to push this back. The Archon desperately chasing the last couple of Vikings, and well, now does Ryung have enough here to kind of save his mineral line? I'm not too sure if he does. A scan comes down, a scan which is needed to reveal these DTs, but if these DTs just back off, the number of scans are limited on the map. There's only 4 orbitals up, and right now a lot of them are fairly drained for energy. Again, Ryung has been losing workers throughout this game, so he really is relying on his orbital energy for mules. MaNa keeps his 4th base alive as well. Both players keep this their mining base alive. As MaNa moves forward here, Storm comes down. There is a single Colossus. Only 2 Vikings out right now. What an insane game we're seeing at this point. We're approaching the half-hour point of this game. MaNa currently sitting 20 supply up. Another scan to clear another Dark Templar. There's still 1 DT in this army. MaNa doesn't want to move forwards with that just yet. Not until that scan dissipates at least. Not much anti-air though, and we're actually seeing a stim forwards here. MaNa has no real option other than to turn around and fight this. Otherwise he's just going to keep on taking free damage, and here we go. A couple of Templar coming in. I don't really think they have storms available to them just yet though. That Colossus falls, and that's a big chunk of supply for MaNa right now. Let's continue to push forwards here. There's just not enough MaNa. He needs to just sit back. He needs to wait. He needs some more warpins. Zealots are going to work so well though in this kind of low kind of unit counts. 40 army supply to 43. MaNa has the economy though. He has 58 workers against 40, but of course mules are a factor. But MaNa, with these DT warpins, he's doing a great job to keep his opponent busy. You know, he's making sure, right? You know, if you have to keep scanning, at least I'm lowering your economy in some way. Probes now long distance mining. It's actually going to be Ryung giving up this base. He doesn't have enough here just yet to really fight against this. A couple more workers will go down. MaNa has to be careful. He doesn't want to throw Zealots into this for no real reason. What a game this is right now. I mean, MaNa is currently still 30 supply up, but again, well, he's starting to kind of take that economy advantage into army supply at this point. A few units over to this right hand side starting to harass this base. MaNa and Ryung again toe to toe with each other at this point. And it looks as though the waters are settling here for a few moments. Another scan used. Again, I think that is pretty much, the orbitals. I mean, obviously they're going to be rebuilding that energy over time. But again, he's just not allowing any mules to drop onto the map, which again puts MaNa into this economic advantage now. 58 probes to 28 SCVs. Moving forwards here with his army, what can he get done? As we see these rocks starting to be targeted down, and Ryung just opening up a couple of attack paths out and about on the map. MaNa, again, his focus is to keep shutting down the economy of Ryung, and that's where he's going for right now. He's moving over to this right hand side. Pylon fairly nearby, so reinforcements are close. A couple of zealots walking forwards, and there's a Templar coming in from behind as well as this orbital gets lifted up. Where's that Templar? Not going to move forwards just yet. These zealots, again, they have to be careful. Orbital falls. A few more SCVs as well, and Ryung's economy continues to die off here. Storm just scaves the edge of the bio. A fair few medevacs still in the sky. I wonder if it might be worth even just feedbacking at this point to kind of get rid of the energy on these. Another Colossus kind of in the middle of nowhere, but this time we're going to see a fight from both angles from MaNa. He's actually going to come in time to save that Colossus. Storm's dropping on the army. Zealot's going to start charging into that though, and it looks as though MaNa is just going to have a little bit too much. GG is called in game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Goes the way of Team Liquid, and we're all tied up in this best of 7.